Close your eyes and imagine the most hype shit you've ever seen. Maybe it's the most hype anime fight you've ever seen, or maybe you think about that fight you saw on the playground in elementary school. Anyways, hype is something that you feel build up deep down inside you, waiting for the anticipation of what will happen next. Of course we know that Tower of God is the first of hopefully many manhwas to be adapted into anime. From the moment this was announced, everyone knew that we had entered a new era of anime, where no longer is manga and light novels the only things adapted into anime, but now manhwas have entered the battlefield. I, like many others, was hyped to see how this anime would turn out. With the different art style and the track record of anime outside of Japan, I wasn't so sure how much I would like this show. But was it really worth the hype? I mean, it wasn't really that bad, and honestly I kind of enjoyed it, but the anime doesn't even scratch the surface of what the manhwa has to offer. Tower of God takes place in a world I would say is pretty well done. There's so many layers to the overly expansive world that you slowly get to peer into through the eyes of Bam, our main character. He enters the tower chasing after Rachel, a girl he had never been without. The goal inside the tower is to make it to the top, where your wishes will be fulfilled. Yeah, so Bam enters the tower looking for some thought that left him behind, and will do anything to be reunited with her. But if I'm being honest, I don't really think Bam is the main reason I enjoyed this anime. I mean, he really isn't anything outside of the fact that he wants to be with Rachel, and that he was able to enter the tower without being chosen by Hidon. I'm pretty sure most people can agree with me on that, at least from someone who hasn't read the manhwa. But the other characters have a lot more to them, and have real ambitions for why they are in the tower. One of the first characters we meet when Bam enters the testing area is Kahum. He has kind of a troubled backstory, being disowned by his family, and costing his sister a position as a princess of Jihad, which I will talk about later on. Then we have the best character, Rak, who is a fun, lovable gator who just wants to hunt and get stronger. There's other side characters, but the only ones who really have stakes in the plot are the princesses of Jihad. To become a princess of Jihad, you must be from a noble family or be powerful, and a girl of course. Once you become a princess of Jihad, the king lends you some of his power. The downfall to this is not being able to love or bear a child. This is just one of the many details in this story. There are also rankers who run the test to see who is worthy to climb the tower. Then there's the director who rules over the rankers, and then the king's rankers who act as his minions. But stepping away from the boring details of this society, we have the world that the characters inhabit. Every floor has a different type of atmosphere with new stakes and challenges for our characters to take on. With the way that the world was crafted, it feels like I took in a lot of knowledge without really realizing it. But the world would be kind of generic without its amazing art style. The art style is just different enough for it to be on its own and not just playing off of a normal anime style. The character designs and even the places they travel to have a way of bringing you into their world. Some of the levels take place inside of a small room where the stakes are high and they must fight up close. Then other places with vast open fields where at any point someone could strike from another angle. Then there's the fights. I think having characters who are from all kinds of places and have different weapons and ability leads to some pretty amazing fights. Some wield swords, spears, and knives, while others might have a bow, a wand, or just hand-to-hand combat. One thing that amplifies these fights the most is that goddamn music. Now I love me some anime music. It has always had a special place in my heart, and this Tower of God tickled me just right with the killer music it has. Kevin Pinkin has come through showing us how talented he is in making music fit the atmosphere of the show. If you haven't listened to the OST, definitely give it a shot, because it is probably one of the best soundtracks I've heard this season. The background chanting really hits hard when there are really intense battles. Most fights have their own amazing battle theme, and it just fills me with joy every time I hear a new one come on. But now, what do I not like about this show? First, I really don't like Bam as a main character. I know we only see the beginning of his story, and he has a lot of room to grow, and I'm willing to wait for the moment he finds his reason to climb the tower. I think he could one day be on par with some of the other great shonen protagonists. Let me talk about Rachel. Now I get Dan Machi flashbacks from how bland she is. There's no good reason for Bam to chase her, but he's putting in all this effort to basically be told to fuck off. Like, Rachel might have some bigger reason behind her actions, but we haven't seen anything that redeems her as a character. I know that she was the only one there for Bam in his time of need, but it just doesn't make sense why he's trying so hard for someone who left him behind. But to sum up how I feel, this is an alright anime that shows how good manhwa stories can really be. I don't think they could have chosen a better manhwa to turn into an anime first. I think the world has a lot of detail put into it, which makes you want to dig even deeper into the story. The characters can be a mixture of lame-ass fuckface or someone who's actually pretty cool, and you kinda need that balance in your story. I'm gonna be giving Tower of God a 7 out of 10, not too bad, but really not perfect. If you guys enjoyed the video, please remember to like and subscribe. This has been Yosmi. Until next time, peace.